Jackedupbear Minecraft Let's Play series. We're getting straight into it today. We got stuff to put away. Hope you guys had a good Monday. Mine was pretty chill. Just organize a little bit so it works better in my brain. Let's put this stuff over here. Part of playing every day and just showing the raw nature is that, like, I think that I want to talk a lot about, and eventually at the end of the series talk a lot about what it's like to play Minecraft consistently. Not like hop on and grind and then not play, and then grind and not play. Just like playing every day and how that like helped me grow. We've talked about this before, but if you're just joining us, I haven't said much this episode, so maybe you weren't expecting me to say a lot, but sometimes I do say a lot. Maybe yeah. And yeah, I just feel like this whole series is about being a regular Minecraft player and then just locking in to do something you never do, you know, getting past that 2-week phase, or getting, you know, where you make a world and then you go back to it and you're like, oh, I just want to start a new world. And I haven't felt that at all this series, like, oh, I want to start a new world. And maybe that's because I gave myself this objective, this goal of playing for this long. And actually, if you're new and I'm just talking to you, this is the Warhol, but giving myself that objective to like play every day for at least a half hour, at least upload every day for a half hour a piece episodes. I mean, there have been some that I've played off camera and then smash them in to like 1 30-minute episode segment, and some of the early episodes were even shorter, but we finally got our pattern down. It's because I just started the YouTube channel when this series started, but here we are 166 days later, just measuring my progress not only as a Minecraft player but as a YouTuber, and how that's helping me grow as a creative. Ooh, we're gonna have to go heal the wings here soon. And yeah, if you're new here, this is the original part. It's kind of the guards tower of the Knight's Manor, or the Lord's Manor. And I'll show you that now. This is the staircase. There's a couple rooms on the side I never finished, but we're gonna work on some eventually. Oddly enough, this copper never turns because I'm never over here, you know. But it's a little area I designed. It's got the Lord's Manor here. The Knight's Manor is the original name of the spawn island, but we tore down the Knight's Manor to build Spawn Island as it is. Yeah, so this is the Lord's Manor. Sort of a place for the workers, or the guards, the librarian to work. This is sort of a storage area. A bunch of blocks I was using to build around here, or thought about building with here, but also from the land I cleared. And then just some other small details, like we got this little garden area. We got the Lord's Garden. There's a dog home, because we don't believe in having a dog house. We want a dog home. And we got a big old tower I was using to look around before I had an elytra. This says, to the Queen's Rest. Made this little pathway. Tried to make it look extra cool. This is the Queen's Rest. Sort of a retro Star Wars vibe I was going for, but then I ended up just making amethyst themed the floor there. So, yeah, some quartz in the build. This is the lava pits, Mr. Wolf. Yeah. We even have a dedication to Jackedupbear. I think this is, I can't even remember if this was around the time it would have been. I'll have to look back. I can't remember when this was, what this is dedicated to, but it's just about my love. But we've been going through a lot this year with getting married not too long ago, coming up on the anniversary of that, but also we found out we were pregnant. Well, my wife, Jackedupbear, is pregnant, so it's been an exciting year for us. And it's all been a part of the series, actually, so if that's an allure or a draw for you, what it is. Plan to build some things here, that's why we cleared out the land, we use forest fire. But yeah, Spawn Island, lighthouse. eventually in the recap we're going to talk about all this stuff and how it went through the process, but that's going to be a really long episode, I think. And I just as a gross player, a lot of my stuff is very simple builds. So like, here's a perfect example. My first build's gone. You can't tell. That's simple, right? There's simple edges. Obviously, I expanded there. And I started here and doing all this. But then I've been watching a lot of another YouTuber named Cypher, someone I consider kind of an internet buddy. Just because he just always leaves comments on my videos, and when early on was very encouraging of me to keep going. So really appreciated that, just to see it from another creator. And Cypher is quite the artist, and just didn't take the same path on me as YouTube. So they're on YouTube with me, but just get a chance, check them out. I'm trying to remember to link these. I swear I'm gonna link it on there. I have a few times. Enough is all the mentions. So yeah. If you're watching these series daily, you gotta watch Cypher, because a lot of his stuff I'm now using for my own inspiration. He just had a recent episode in his new storage. Very cool. And I like the little graveyard stuff. It's funny. He's got a randomizer and all. Get that creeper out of there. Cypher has a very different style of video than mine. Editing's top tier compared to this, where I just slap the episode down and put an intro and outro on. But yeah, this is the temple. We're building, so we're pretending that the lore is, we're not pretending, the lore is that this structure came shooting out of the ground, and with it brought up some of the earth and created new little areas and things. So we're going to work on some things down here eventually. I have some big plans for that. I haven't talked about that a lot, but kind of a first mention here. But yeah, most of the time in the episodes you actually just watch me play. I'm trying to get that down as the series progresses, because I do plan on using some money to put an ad out on the old year in review to just gain some popularity and for people to see the series, and if they're interested in this kind of playthrough where I just play games straight up and just yap over it. Yes. What up, dude?
Huh?
Dude, what do you got?
Uh-huh.
You don't really got anything useful. That sucks.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, using this series and then like, getting that promotion on that sort of video, I'm going to put a lot of effort into that, I think, and it's going to take some time once this mini series of Minecraft is over, because I have big plans for Minecraft on this channel. I guess I've never really talked about that too much. I always just mention like somebody I want to play with friends and things like that, but the goal is to just stick out the YouTube grind and the Minecraft grind for as long as possible, but to film the entire experience, starting with half-hour segments each day for the first year or so, which I think it'll be exactly a year, and then from there, switching up the pace, maybe doing 3 episodes a week or 5 episodes a week, and maybe doing different time intervals, but just continuing to work on this world and watching it evolve as we go. I know a lot of other channels have done things like that, and a lot of people that I watched growing up, they didn't necessarily do things exactly like I'm going to do it, but I definitely got a lot of inspiration from that kind of stuff. But I also am trying to craft a story with this world, so that someday I can release it and people can go experience that story for themselves. I think that's a really important piece of what I'm trying to do here. And even if it's just a few people that watch the channel, or the couple, there's like 25 of you guys now that regularly have been watching the Minecraft series. So that's really cool to see. That number's risen from when we started of just a few people to all you guys. So I really appreciate that. And even if you're just putting it on, heck yeah. Thanks for supporting. But yeah, I got some big plans for Minecraft, and one day I hope that this whole place is just like filled with buildings, this spawn area. The actual spawns are here. This area, I just want it to be filled with things. Like, I even want to build on the ocean out here. I have some plans for that. So when I let people have the world, or let my friends join, or play with Jacked Up Wife and my Jacked Up daughter, that they get the chance to just live their own story in it after I've done my own story here. Because it has been a really powerful sort of time for me to do this recording as a young man, sort of coming of age and establishing myself in my life and starting my family. I think it'll be a nice little journal someday to look back on the episodes where I'm yapping a lot. There's some episodes where I barely say a word, but that's what you get here. And some of my most watched episodes, most viewed episodes are ones where it's just me talking. Like my most viewed video on the channel as it stands today, May 19th, 2025, is it's a video of I get like blown up by a creeper, and then I go on a rant about why I'm not giving up, and like you have these moments where it's just like feels like it can even be something so small as that, where you're just like, I'm done with this, you know. But if it's something you're really into or really motivated to do, or it's part of your goals, you should just really stick it out. And it's a weird analogy to use Minecraft to tell those kind of stories or say that kind of thing, but it's so real. Like that 2-week effect, where you just play Minecraft for that 2 weeks and then it's just like, boom. It wasn't designed for that, and unless you put in a little extra effort to be like, okay, what else does Minecraft have to offer? Or what else can I try and create? What else can I do to enjoy this game? You won't figure it out. Considering it's the most played or most purchased game of all time. Something's going on here, right? Let's go and repair the elytra real quick while I'm chatting about this channel and this series. Oh, we're not being very productive today. What's the recording at even? Ooh, 18 minutes almost? Oh, we yap a lot. But, you know, I think there's a lot of reasons I'm doing this series or this channel. Part of it's also just me saying, like, here you go to the little boy that lives inside of my heart, you know, that talked about it before, but like the book The Alchemist, it's like it's a good teaching about saving your inner child. Well, you know, it's all up to your own interpretation basically, but it's about the inner child, right? And for me, I owe that little guy a lot, so I'm just making up for it by playing Minecraft, recording YouTube. Because little me wanted to do that. And I was always just like, why would I waste my time? And I was so focused on so many other things that just weren't who I really was or what I wanted to be. And it took me a long time to have the courage to be able to even say that out loud. Like, I don't want to be all these other things. I want to be this guy that plays Minecraft and puts it on YouTube and yeah. Or I just want to play video games with my buddies and like put that out online. See how people react to it. I don't know. It sounds so cliche, but like it's just so fun. It's so fun, and you learn so much about yourself and people. And I don't know. It's just an enjoyable experience. And if you've been a long time viewer, you know I ranted about my job and other things like that in my life, but it's also just a little escape from all that. Jeez. You gotta have that once in a while. Some people like to go out and do other stuff. Now, me, especially in Minecraft. I do like to do other things, obviously. I'm not crazy. If I would play a half-hour a day, I could play like 6 hours a day. I could really do that, but it's just not healthy. And I'd be exhausted. I would have no time in the day to do really anything else besides this and work. And that's just not okay to myself, but also to my wife. So we don't do that here. Back in the day, you might have caught me doing that. And don't get me wrong, there are weekends where I play a ton of video games, or days where I come home and as long as Jackedupbear's chill, I can play games for a few hours at a time, but you know how it goes when you get old. Sometimes you just find that piece of relaxation in it. That's also what I'm trying to teach people. If you're not a video game player, if like you just happen upon this channel because of one of my rant episodes and you're like, huh, I might stick around to see what this guy has to say, and it's hard to tell when I'm have something to say, so maybe you'll just stumble upon these once in a while. Thanks. That's cool too. Goddamn Enderman. You know what? We could just keep going on this a little bit too. Actually, I think this was the actual end block where I was supposed to go the other direction then. Nothing wrong with expanding in either direction, but just saying. And this is not to be like a highway. This is just connecting the two areas away from spawn that I plan on building in. I will eventually make another hub. That is... it's a bit undecided still. How and when I'm going to do that, but I got a lot of inspiration from people like Linksy, who's got a YouTube channel and his streams almost, I think he streams every day. And just having his world that's like a forever world, but it's just so crazy. The builds and the size and the detail and effort put into it in each little area. So to dedicate that much time is really, really cool to be able to do that, but not what we're doing. We're doing a half hour today. This series is, I used to say at the beginning of the series that this series is for 35-year-old men plus. The dads out there that play Minecraft, you know, the old guys that are just chilling that used to play Minecraft when it first came out, and you're like, dang, this is cool, but it didn't really become what it is today until, you know, recently. So I remember when it was these 3 blocks. And maybe it wasn't even smooth stone. I think it was cobblestone. You know? Maybe I'm tripping on that, but maybe I'm just really old to remember when it was just these 3 in the picture. And I think maybe there was stuff underground, but I don't think I ever went underground. I think I was scared. Watched a lot of Yogcast documentaries too. That's kind of what inspired me to want to build a sort of world where we could tell a story. I also watched a lot of Forge Labs. So not that I would ever do like a... maybe you could do it in this world. Like I survived 100 days in Bearcraft. I don't know. If it ever gets to that point, shout out to me for predicting that. That's crazy. I'm a legend. Thanks to me. Just kidding, but that'd be cool. You can dream, you know. It's always important to dream. You had to be there. Anyways, Minecraft and the lifespan that it had is just absolutely incredible, because here I am many years later, still on that grizzy grind, and I would say this is my actual forever world. I don't remember, for whatever reason, and maybe it's my dad's email from the first time he bought Minecraft for me. Maybe I should log into his email on there and see, ask him for the password. But I had an old world, and I think it'd just be so goofy to revisit someday, but this is the forever world. And this is the world that in however many years we're going to be doing YouTube, which I imagine it'll be a while. Especially when little jacked up daughter grows up. I think I want her to have a... You know, okay, this is my thought too about this. I thought about this one day, and I was just like, maybe that's the best bet. My friends at work who have young kids say that, yeah, they're always on YouTube, they're always watching videos on like the tablet when they get the tablet or whatever. Like they don't want to watch other stuff, they want to watch YouTube, or some of their kids are on the TikTok, you know? And I'm like, if I can create a YouTube series that I know exactly what's set in, and it's me just, you know, being myself and doing that, I think it would be good for a little jacked up daughter to watch instead of some other crazy stuff I've seen. So, and I don't know, and then she can come and play on it. And she could just enjoy it that story that same way. You know, what can I say? I'm just a guy who kept dreaming, and then I won. I got all my dreams. So now I'm here making YouTube videos and yapping away. And some of you guys are actually listening, so hell yeah, thank you. I knew someday I'd have cool people on the internet that like the cool stuff that I like. And they would watch my stuff. Just kidding, I didn't know that because I wasn't confident enough to think that way. And I'm very glad I just gave it a shot. Because we definitely got some popularity in the subscriber count. It's that core viewership on my Minecraft videos that I know you guys are the real OGs. My core viewership on the Arma videos, you know, they came when stuff got hot, you know. They're not really the... Just kidding. But I remember the day 1A ones. I remember the comments from you guys, the ones that were like, yeah, man, just caught the first video. This is cool. I'm going to stick around. Keep going. Someday you're going to do really well. But thank you. Because I am. I'm going for it. Just like everything else. Okay, we better get over here. It's just like everything else in life. In Minecraft, you just gotta go for it. Oh my god, we're gonna... Guys, we're gonna have to go get some more gunpowder from the old gunpowder mob farm. Which is just a regular mob farm. The most basic. Secret. There's a secret entrance here, but I was gonna sink the... I was going to sing the secret agent man. So much coal. So much coal. You guys want to see the secret entrance? Oh, this is also the mine area. This is a diamond mine. Ooh, looks ugly down there. Basically just down the level diamonds are most frequent at. And in every direction. In the strip mine. This is the cartographer's tower. Overlook the little river entrance into the forest. Got some villages over yonder. It really feels like for playing for 160-something episodes, I haven't done a lot, but so sometimes I just talk in here, but also it's only a half hour a day, which I know it's been over a week of gameplay already. Actual days, or time spent play, days and everything. But part of the problem is that I built a lot of stuff on this spawn island to start. It was this small island area. And just realized that I didn't want everything so jam-packed on top of itself. So I started spreading things out, which is like, oh, the enchantment tables over there. I've actually been thinking about moving all the islands, or not all the islands, all the animals and the farms away from here. Maybe even over there. Like we cleared some forest for the farms to go there. Yeah. And then I want to build kind of a miniature city. This area sort of inspired me too, with like little different shops, and we'll put the actual jobs in there, and then we'll like make the city here. Because then I want to start a second village over here, so that they kind of move between these 2 points. And I don't know if that's possible, based on the size of this area, but I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and figure it out. But that's an idea I have. And, you know, I have a million ideas in this series, and some of them we follow through with, some of them we don't. But this I really feel like is going to be necessary at some point to redo again. So, I want to make it look more city-like, and then having the old ruins of a city, or part of an old city, with the grove over there, will really emphasize that this series was not only about me growing and changing and letting go of the old stuff and coming up with new ideas and getting better at Minecraft, but also the grove itself. I know I haven't been there this episode. It's like about it a couple episodes ago, but the grove itself is a dedication to a jacked up wife. She's just a beautiful person. Inside and out. Some might say, you know, I'll just keep it PG, but just kind of did it in honor of her. Added all these beautiful things. Made a little garden. Made an area where you could sit in this little chair and listen to music. Some of our snowmen we used to have came up here, obviously. Have a little lava and water area. Some of the chickens seem to be trapped. Guys, that's not okay. But yeah, there's also a little mob spawner here I have, but they're not there right now. And then, yeah, again, Spawn Island with all the dogs. Chill out. And, of course, our nether portal. Ow. Which I really hate going into, but you see the boy. I don't really need to go back. There's gonna be a few things we're gonna do down there, obviously the stuff, but there's a lot more material I want to gather, but I think there's gonna be a place and a time for that as this year goes on. Because if we're gonna do this forever, you go and look at those channels that have done it already, and I'm just inspired to do it for a long time. So welcome to the start, because it's really only been the beginning. Thanks for sticking along though, because it's really the only way that's, well, not the only way, it's the extra motivation I need to keep doing this and to really push myself to grow as a Minecrafter, as a YouTuber, as a creator, as a person, and finding this peace also as just like a husband and a father in the years to come. Of, if you want something to be great, you have to put time and effort into it. That's all things, whether it's a Minecraft world, whether it's your relationships, whether it's, you know, work, school, a passion of yours. You have to put time into it. That's the only valuable thing we all really have to give and to share is our time. And so when you give your time to something, just remember that. I'm Bear. We'll see you next time.